Hello and welcome to the SEGA Nerdcast 10. I'm Chris, the editor of SEGA Nerds, and with me this week we have Graham,
Hello.
Steven,
Hello.
and Mr. Wilson.
What's up?
How's it going,
Hey.
fellas?
It's all
I'm
good.
I'm chilling, man.
Awesome. Mr. Wilson is a guy that I actually just recently discovered because I was listening to a video game radio network called 8-Bit X, and his one of his songs popped up called Dear Sega, and it was a pretty badass song, and I immediately fell in love with it, and I hit him up on Twitter, and I brought him onto the show, so thank you for joining us today, man.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me.
No, anytime, anytime.
Yeah,
So,
awesome song.
yeah,
Thanks.
we're definitely going to be getting into the song. We'll be playing the song actually here in a little bit for everyone. We got our audio problems fixed from last week, so we're actually going to be able to do that this time, and then we're going to be able to talk to him a little bit about his his whole history with Sega, hit rap, and all that other good stuff. So before we do that, let's get into some of what we've been talking about or what we've been up to this past week. So Graham, why don't you lead us into that real quick, buddy?
Work. That's it. That's what I've been doing. That's all you need to know. Yeah. Oh, I did a bit of writing, but yeah, nothing else really.
Is this writing for what book are we writing?
The main book that you've sort of started to read, but you haven't.
I've gotten to like the second chapter, I think now.
Yeah, clearly wasn't good enough to continue to the third.
I'll tell you what, I don't have hardly any time to read anymore because I've been wanting to read Game of Thrones forever now, and I haven't even been able to finish that. So,
Man, I bet you've watched Game of Thrones, yeah?
yeah, but you don't have a TV show made off your book yet.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
All right, Steven, what have you been up to, man?
During the week, not a whole lot. Much like Graham, I was working. But after we're done with this, I'm going over to a coworker's house to buy a huge lot of video games and consoles for $20.
Oh, nice.
2 Super Nintendos, and one of those Super Nintendos comes with the original box.
Nice.
An NES, a Dreamcast, and like a bunch of accessories like VMUs, the fishing rod for that. There's a couple of bass fishing games or whatever.
Wow, that's nice.
awesome. Oh, dude.
Some Super Nintendo games and some Dreamcast games and stuff. Like I said, all for $20. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
Dude, when you get that fishing rod, have you got Crazy Taxi?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, play the Crazy Taxi with a fishing rod. Seriously, you wind the reel, and then that gets you going. That's the accelerator. But it's like the most insane thing. You're like, yeah, come on! You're like spinning your hand.
Dude, I have to do that. That's awesome.
And also Virtua Tennis. Do you have Virtua Tennis?
Yes.
Use the fishing rod for that because you can actually swipe the fishing rod and it actually makes the player like
That's
a Wiimote.
awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah, do it. There's 2 little tricks you
Wow.
can do with the fishing rod though. Awesome.
I will. That's about it. Yeah. Then I have work after that. So.
So that's a good deal you got, man. Definitely.
Yeah. My buddy's moving. It's like we need to downsize, and he's like, I got all this stuff. I'm like, I'll take it.
I don't know if you're familiar with the show. It's on YouTube. It's called The Game Chasers, and they go around like search for like old retro games. It's like American Pickers almost, but just video games.
Oh really?
Yeah, like they got a couple episodes, so it's real good.
I do watch that,
awesome.
yeah, because they're actually based out in Texas, and I was living in Texas not too long ago, and they one of the episodes they went down to San Antonio, and they hit up a flea market that I used to go to a lot called, I think it was Bussey's Flea Market, and it was a good spot for games, for sure. You could pick up some good deals there, and yeah, I like those guys. They're pretty good.
They always find the rare stuff, man. I was like, are you kidding me? They get the good price too. Like it was a Flintstone game for the NES. They got for $5. It's like $300 online. So yeah. So
oh man.
yeah.
That's awesome. Mr. Wilson, why don't you tell us what you've been up to, man?
Man, I've been doing a lot of work, man. I'm actually a co-owner of a rap battle league by the name of VoiceBox Battles. So like youtube.com/VoiceBox Battles. You can check out all the battles from there. We gained like 700,000 views in 2 years. So yeah, we got some. We're up and coming league. There's a lot of like big leagues that's watching our moves now. So we're trying to just focus on the next events in August in Arizona. So see what's good with that.
Oh, that's
Very
awesome.
So other than that, plan my next move, music, nerdcore. working on like 3 albums. So I'm trying, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're making us look bad. We don't
Yeah.
do it.
Nah, don't say that. I wish I could find a freaking Dreamcast around Jersey, man. Are you kidding me? So.
I hear you, man. Pretty much the only thing I did this week worth mentioning is I bought Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed on my Vita. So, I've been, I've been wanting to get it for a while, and I almost actually downloaded it last night. It's $30 on the PlayStation Network, but then I was like, you know what? It brand new. It's $30 for the physical copy. I was like, you know what? And I'm not gonna go ahead and download that because I only have like a 6 gig or 8 gig card in my Vita anyway. Okay. So I need space on that. Space is at a premium on my memory card. So I was like, I'm just gonna pop into GameStop and pick it up. It's a good game, man. They actually, it doesn't look from a visual standpoint. It doesn't look like it's that much of a degradation from the 360 and the PS3 version. So I do have it on 360. It's nice to play it on there and everything, but I need some more games for my Vita, and this is definitely one of the best ones out there. So I need more people to play with, though. So if anyone's out there and they have this game on the Vita, send me a friend request on PSN. It's Air Force Rider is my ID, so definitely do that. Yeah. So.
Awesome.
Now I'm gonna get into some of Mr. Wilson's stuff real quick, but before we do that, I think it's only appropriate if we play his song.
Oh,
real quick. Let me do that, and this is
mute my mic for this.
Yeah, titled "Dear Sega." So let's do that, and hopefully everything will work out right. Here we go.
Sega's my favorite video game company of all time. They had so many classic games growing up as a kid. So many to name. But for the past couple years, it has been feeling that way. I feel like it's been on decline. So I had to write this little letter. Hopefully Sega listens to me. Dear Sega, let me start by saying that I don't want no drama. But lately you've been dry like sinus. It's time for a very big change like Obama. Your new game's been whacking away. You're not the same company from back in the day. When I was a kid, I was a big Sega fanboy. Had every console, heck, even the damn toys. Hurt seeing all the movies y'all been making. For over 10 years, man, my head's been shaking. I got a list of things in this letter. Trust me, this will help y'all do better. It will. Make less games for the Wii. And y'all need to make it Shenmue 3. The whole world wants to play the game. Yonkers is cool, but it's not in the same lane. I will pay any damn fee to have an epic battle with Land D. Need Sega GT with the fine courses. A Fantasy Star with the Shine Forces. Had fun unlocking Masashi. And Hanzo reminds me of Kakashi. Sega had many RPGs. Y'all were the whole effing show like R.E.D. Bring back Alex, Kid, and Wonder Boy. Right Star, Flicky the Bird, and Echo Boy. Putting them on the show was a no-no. Y'all could've been rolling deep like Miyamoto. Y'all falling off the edge, dog. We're pretty much saw the Sonic the Hedgehogs. I copped the Xbox port of Generations. Goddamn, it was short. The people really want a 2D HD or a Sonic Adventure 3. 1 and 2 were the last good games. Go back to the roots, pretty pleased to keep a good name. It's heating up, cause now I have to mention all the beat 'em ups. Street Your Rage brings gamers to tears, cause we haven't seen a new one in 18 years. Where the heck is Lap Bumps and Die Hard? Spike out, oh man, I'm about to die hard. Sega really had too many classics. It really sucks that you put them in a casket. Y'all should try to get Mordecai and Rigby, a partnership with Capcom and Disney. Vector Man was a good one. All the Beast and Afterburner was some good ones. Do sequels so we can have a mind blown. Stop doing remakes on the iPhone. Oh yeah, speaking of consoles, it's about that time for a console. If y'all need money like the Carter, start a go-go, hell, even a Kickstarter. Gamers around the world really hop on it. Real talk, I will put my life savings on it. I can't even speak anymore, man. I can't even rap. Got a little emotional right there. Sega, we just want to see you #1 again, man. Don't take anything personal, man. I'm just speaking for all the gamers, all the Sega fanboys, everybody that spent hours on those forums. Give us a Dreamcast too. Give us something, man. Good quality games. That's all we want, man. Alright, I'm signing off. Sincerely, Mr. Wilson. Peace.
Yeah.
Wow.
Love it.
You know, I have to say,
So awesome.
when I heard that the first time, like, it literally gave me the chills. Like, I'm not even playing.
Is
Wow.
it on iTunes?
No, it's actually on my album. It's a bonus track. It's on Sonic Free P. So it's on mrwilson.bandcamp.com. You just download Sonic Free P. It's the bonus track. So
Wait, so it's Mr. Wilson. Sorry, go say that.
mrwilson.bandcamp.com. So
Sweet.
it's a free album, Sonic Free P. You know, I did a whole album, like a couple of tracks, sampling some Sonic songs. So, and then I had to add that as a bonus track. So
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, no, like I was saying a while ago, man. Like, it literally, like, I kind of, like, I think I got a little emotional, too. Like, when I heard it, man, I was like, man, it's like, it literally, that one song, like, perfectly explains, like, what it feels like to be a Sega nerd. You know, like, all the shit that we've gone through, like, from the moment Sega, you know, stopped, you know, producing the Dreamcast up until this point, man. It's like, it really is, like, the perfect song for a Sega nerd.
And definitely, and shout out to Radio Sega. They play that on like consistently. So like I got a shitload of UK fans from that. So
That's awesome.
you know,
Yeah, we're good friends with the Radio Sega guys. Like, they're our buddies.
Yeah,
Definitely,
don't get listened to
man.
enough. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah, they definitely showed me a lot of love. So you know, it was when they first played that song, everybody was like, "Oh my god!" Like on the chat rooms, I was like, "Oh wow."
So,
Sparks.
you know, tell us, so like, take us back to the point where, you know, you started coming up with this song. Like, how did you, you know, how did you come up with it? How did you develop it? And, you know, can you kind of bring us back to that point?
Yeah, definitely. One of my good nerdcore hip hop homies by the name of Richie Branson, he did a song called "Letter to Squaresoft," and he was basically just like, that's one of his favorite company. Like he loves Chrono Trigger, so he became a fan of Squaresoft ever since that. So he felt that Square Enix haven't been really making the right moves the past couple of years, and he's basically like telling them like y'all should do this, y'all should do that, y'all should do another Mario RPG, y'all should do this. So I was just playing that. I downloaded the song, started playing it for a couple weeks. I was like, wow, what happened? And when I met Rich, I was like, yo, I think I should think about a Sega song, because that's one of my favorite companies. Like, no, it is my favorite company of all time.
Right.
So like when I hit up Mega Ran's DJ DN3, and I was like, I need you to sample this Shenmue track, and that song always caught my attention. Like when it was around the end of the game, so I'm like, yo, that song's like kind of emotional. You know, Shenmue's about to be over, and like that's, you know, it's a perfect track. I'm like, I need you to sample this. And when I heard the song, I was like, wow, okay, I need to take my time writing this, because I don't want to mess this up. So when I sat down and recorded and I heard the final version, I was like, wow, this is crazy. I cannot wait to release this to the world. And out of nowhere, you know, people started loving it, you know, as I released it.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy because I didn't realize that, you know, I didn't know that the sample was from Shenmue, but I was, you know, as I was listening to it, I was like, man, this sounds like something that would come from Shenmue, but I didn't know that it actually was apart from that. So
yeah, it was. Yeah, so you know, that was one of my favorite songs. Like, I always thought they had like a unique soundtrack, you know. So like, I definitely wanted to sample one of the songs from the game.
Very nice. Yeah,
so.
we a few weeks ago we had Corey Marshall on the show, who was the voice actor of Ryo Hazuki.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it was awesome to have him on. It literally sounded like we were talking to Ryo Hazuki for an hour and a half.
Did he tell you what the sailors were at?
No, like unfortunately,
Huh?
but he, he did actually do like a little sample for us. He's like, do you know where I can find some sailors? He said, do you
Yeah,
know
I
where I can
love
find
that.
some Sega nerds? Which is actually pretty awesome. So now we
Hey,
actually play that little bit in front of at the
hey,
beginning of every show.
I need a soundboard for that. I need to email that to me like
Yeah,
ASAP,
yeah, for
Awesome.
sure. So how long did it take you to actually write the song then?
It took me like a week and a half. When it
Oh
comes
wow.
to like nerdcore hip hop, I like to sit down and like actually play the game. Or if I'm talking about anime, I sit down and watch a couple of episodes. I just want to make sure everything is right. So so I don't want to disappoint the fans. You know, it's like I want a pop culture reference that's going to like spark them. Like, oh wow, I haven't heard about that in years. You know, so that's one of my goals is to give you that nostalgia feeling. You know, when I do the music.
I loved it because it like encompassed all the history of Sega, and I mean you almost did it like it's like a book. It was, yeah. I'm listening to the whole thing. I'm just like, this is Sega in like a 3 or 4 minute song. This is like all of Sega. It's awesome.
Yeah, I've heard that they actually heard the song before, so that was kind of shocking. I did not know they was gonna hear that. I had no idea.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I hope they didn't. Like I said, no hard feelings. It was just something that I felt like needed to be said.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely.
a lot of Sega fans, Sega nerds out there are feel exactly the same way. If you go onto like Facebook and stuff, you always see loads of messages saying, "Where's Shenmue 3? Where's Shenmue 3?" and things like that. And it's just, "Where's the Dreamcast 2?" And so,
You know what? I understand why they taking so long with the Shenmue 3, but then again, I don't know. Like it's it's a 50-50 thing because they spent so much money on the first one. So like so and then it didn't really sell that much. And then the second one was we're not going to talk about that, but but like it was supposed to be 6 chapters if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. It was supposed to be like a couple of chapters to the Shenmue series, but everybody was waiting for that, and then they did the Shenmue Online. That was like a rumor. I don't know if it really came out.
I think
But
it was out for like a few years. I think they shut it down now.
it was like in China though, or
Right,
another
yeah,
country.
yeah.
Yeah. So but I'm like, come on, y'all playing around with this, man. I mean, I know Virtua Fighter is cool, but give us Rio.
Right on.
I'm saying, but they really do need to make that. Like even with the Kickstarter idea, like I know they saw what Ouya did. So like, I can imagine what Sega would do if they did do a Kickstarter. I think Kickstarter would blow up like that day of,
I could see that for sure.
Yeah, so because I know it's a financial situation as far as like them trying to make a new console, so let the fans do it. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would put a lot of money on that, a lot of backers out there. So
I'm sure there would be, because it seems that like just little, even if it's like little projects, I think like it was Veronica Mars or something like that, is getting its movie because of Kickstarter. So I
See?
think if enough people rallied around the idea of getting like a new Sega console or a Shenmue 3 or some kind of sequel to a popular game like Skies of Arcadia, I think people would rally behind it, and I think it would get funded.
dude, they even rallied for Cheetah Man 2, and that was like probably one of the most shittiest games on Nintendo. And like they rallied over it. Like they said, oh, it's the lost levels. We need a certain amount of money to create the more shitty lost levels. So and it did well for some reason. It went over the limit. I forgot what the limit was, but like it went over like 2-3 times the limit. So I can imagine what if Sega needs a couple of mil, it'll probably 10 times more.
Oh yeah.
So
did you keep up with see what Sega did at E3 this year?
I've seen I haven't had a chance to catch up with a lot of E3 stuff, but like I've seen Sonic Lost Worlds, and I'm basically getting a Wii U because of that.
That's crazy because I'm kind of in the same boat because I really had not wanted a Wii U at all.
Yeah, and the thing is, it reminded me of Sonic Extreme.
Right.
And like everybody was so hyped about, okay, Saturn is about to get a full-blown Sonic game, and then they just canceled it out of nowhere. So now, and the thing is, they said they wasn't inspired by that game. I find it complete bull.
That's a lie. Yeah.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
yeah, that's weird.
So
Yeah,
like,
it does look a lot like that. Wow, I didn't even make that connection.
yeah. So as soon as I saw that, as soon as you start moving around the little areas, I'm like, that's Sonic Extreme, man.
That makes
So
sense.
Well, the haters were trying to say that it's a rip off of Mario
Mario
Galaxy.
Galaxy,
But,
yeah, I know.
not even close.
No.
Not even close. Nah, because it's like it's more creative. Like it's so creative the way they like that first level down. I was like, wow, this is actually like fun. So I can't wait.
Yeah, so I mean, what do you think about the last few Sonic games that have come out? Because I mean, everyone knows that Sonic hit a rough patch, especially if we want to go back into a few years ago. Right. But the last few games, like I mean, we had what is it, Sonic Generations. Before that, it was Sonic Colors.
Oh yeah.
I actually enjoyed those games. But I felt like Sonic Adventure. It was something about that RPG element they gave to the game, and then even Part 2. Part 2 was like nice. It was introducing new characters finally, and they were like badass too. So I feel like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 were like those last games. When I speak to people like that, like it could be people who don't even play video games anymore. They will say that Dreamcast was like their last system they really enjoyed, and they will mention how incredible Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 was. So like I feel like if they made a 3, they would have to like sit down and like really focus. Need to concentrate on that game, man.
Yeah.
So Unleashed, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't beat that. I couldn't, like, my attention span was not up to par.
Yeah.
I decided not to even touch that. I was like, I'm not even.
It was okay. It was fun.
There's a video of on YouTube. It's like an animated video. You know how they like they use the bunnies and they like describe a movie in 1 minute. They did that with Sonic Extreme. They just kept showing the same clips over and over again. He said, "Oh, Sonic, we gotta get this. Oh, I gotta take a flight." And he said, "Oh, gotta take another flight." It was like same thing over and over again. Hey, oh, Sonic, come back to my place. I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah.
It was so funny. I was like, wow, this is, and it was just, I don't know. Like they try to bring back to Sonic Adventure 1 roots, but like even with 06, they even try to give you that feel, but I don't know. Everything was just completely wrong with those two games.
Yeah.
And Sonic Generations was I just felt short for me, man. Like I love the nostalgic feeling I got when they gave us with the classic Sonic and the modern, like that was great. I just felt like it could have been just a little longer.
They were talking about doing DLC. There's actually, and I think it might be for the 3DS. I'm not sure, but there is a downloadable song, the Casino Night from Sonic 2. It's a remastered version of the song, and it was supposed to be DLC for Sonic Generations, but I don't know where they stand on that. I mean, the game's almost 2 years old now.
Yeah, and then Sonic 4. I mean, it was cool, but like
the mechanics were weird in that game.
Yeah, it was weird, man. Like I'm not used to seeing like a humming jump, on a platform like that. Like I need a 2D like HD like a remake, So like I've seen a Sonic 2D HD like by a fan, and I was like, wow, this looks incredible. I'm like, I don't understand how Sega don't see this stuff. So
I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's weird the way Sega, like, because as you say, like, the fans sort of do seem to make really, really good sort of Sonic stuff, like the 2D HD 2D Sonic game, but
even the fan-made movie was.
For some reason, Sega just can't. Oh yeah.
They had Jalil. They actually got Jalil White to do the voice for that fan-made movie too. So that was like a good thing.
No way. I didn't realize that. Oh.
Yeah, that was Jalil White. Yeah. So
I was at when they first unveiled that, like before it even hit the internet. They unveiled that at MagFest this year, and I was actually in the panel. I was able to see it, but what was funny is that they lost the final version of the movie.
Wow.
And so they had to show a version that wasn't fully complete. So like as the movie was going on, because it's only like a 5 to 10 minute movie or something like that. It's not that long. But there's like, you could see like wireframe characters that don't have like all their textures and stuff on it and stuff like that. It was kind of funny, but it was kind of cool at the same time. To kind of see that and just see, kind of an unfinished version of it. It felt a little special, I guess. But then, like a few days later, they released it to the, on YouTube and the internet and everything like that. But that was really cool. That's one of the really awesome things, though. Not, just about, not just the Sonic community, but also the Sega community. I mean, there's some awesome and very talented people that are a part of that. And, Mr. Wilson, you're certainly a part of that community. producing awesome, work. Whether it's music, whether it's video, whether it's just like websites and shit like that. Like like we're doing. There's people out there, and it shows just like how committed and how passionate people are about Sega, even when it's been 10, 15 years since they were in their heyday.
Definitely, and you see that a lot of people still making homebrew games for the Sega Dreamcast. So like, it's just been dead for 12 years supposedly. So and then they still making like R-type shooters, those type of shooters. So I feel like Dreamcast is never going to die. Like never.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like people still going to make games. They say it's so easy to make like puzzle games and shooters on that console. So I'm just going to still buy them.
Yeah, you gotta keep your eye out on this game called Pure Solar. You know that?
I actually heard about that maybe about back in 07, 08. It was a Genesis game. There was only 250 copies.
Yeah,
that was
tough to get. Yeah,
and it's hard to find that game now. Like
on. They did it. Oh, go ahead, Graham.
Oh, I was just going to explain exactly what you.
No, go for it. No, go.
Okay, yeah. Basically, the guys who made that game have done a Kickstarter. And they're releasing it on like Xbox and stuff. They're also releasing it on the Dreamcast as well. In like an HD version. They've upscaled it. They've redone all the graphics and stuff. It looks amazing.
I saw that campaign, and I saw like when they showed the Genesis version. And they showed like a split screen of what it looks like now. I'm like, wow, this is beautiful. I'm like, so this is it's great. Like that was basically, if you sit down and think about it, that was a Sega related thing, So and then people backed it up a lot. So
it goes back to what we were saying before, like just the passionate Sega fans and everything like that. But talking about that, but we were doing a lot of Sonic talk here just a bit ago. And there's a reason kind of for that, and we're going to be doing some more Sonic talk, but we're going to be celebrating Sonic's birthday in a few days.
Yeah.
Woo! So this whole podcast is going to be kind of Sonic themed, and actually, Graham, why don't you start us off on the newsstand like you always do, and it's all going to be Sonic themed.
Yeah, I mean, as Crystal just mentioned, it's going to be Sonic the Hedgehog's birthday. It's actually going to be this Sunday on June the 23rd. Because on June 23rd, 1991, Sonic the Hedgehog 1 was released on the Mega Drive or Genesis for you American guys. So happy birthday, Sonic.
Yeah.
Today I'm drinking Asahi, Japanese beer, for the love of the Japanese hedgehog.
Very nice.
Nice.
Yeah, just everyone knows who Sonic is, but just a very, very brief some people just forget how popular he is, how long he's been going on for. So yeah, his first proper game was in 1991. He's appeared in way over. I've actually written down 31 titles. He appeared in way over 31 titles. So I started counting, and then I lost count, and then they didn't have all the titles listed. But I got he's been in way over 30 titles. I mean, there's not really any other game character out there I can actually say has really been in that many titles. Mario's probably closest, but has he even been in that many titles?
I think it's actually the top three. I could be wrong. Mario, Sonic, and probably Link. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man.
Huh.
Yeah. Any sort of character spanning that many titles is just
Plus, Sonic was in Wreck-It Ralph as well.
Yes, he was.
Oh yeah.
Who also probably is in a lot of video games because its company hoard him out really bad is Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Pac-Man.
Yeah, he's been in a shit ton. They even made him into a woman.
He even made some Mario games. So
Yeah.
it's kind of weird.
Yeah. I mean, he's so popular. He's been in other Sonic games and stuff from Sega Fantasy Star Universe, Samba de Amigo.
I forgot about the Fantasy
Nights
Star.
he appeared in. So it's.
He was also in Radmobile. He was
Yeah.
a little
yeah.
like what do you call it? The little thing you hang over on your.
Wow, I forgot all about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
The hanging by the car. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, we're celebrating Sonic's birthday today, basically. In celebration for the Sunday, and we're going to continue doing the newsstand like normal. But to be honest, they're all Sega themed. Yeah, no Sonic themed. Sorry. Yeah, I've had a couple of beers. Okay, little announcement. There's 3 more Game Gear titles have come to the 3DS eShop.
Yes.
One of them is Defenders of Oasis, and the other 2 are Sonic related. We've got Tails Adventure and Sonic Blast.
Yes.
Don't know if you guys have played those games. I mean, Sonic
I've-
Blast and Tails Adventure are pretty good, but I think, on a personal level, I think Sonic 1 and 2 on the Game Gear were much better, but they're still pretty cool games to pick up. In fact, Sonic Blast is pretty hard to get hold of, as far as I'm aware. But,
Oh, definitely. I enjoyed Tales of Adventure, to be honest. A lot of people, give that game a lot of heat, but I liked it. I like the weapons that he had and everything. So,
yeah,
I
it's
was
pretty.
so happy when I first got that game. I was like, oh man, I'm playing this all day because I wanted to see somebody else, another Sonic character's perspective. And they made a little spin-off Tales of Adventure. So I'm like, okay, because that was like a year after Knuckles Chaotix came out, and Knuckles was just too confusing for me. So I've never beat that game to this very day. It was just the levels was just too long in that game, man. So Tales of Adventure was like the closest thing, and I beat it. I was like, wow, okay, this was good. And Sonic Blast was that was a good game. I'm not gonna lie, it was. So yeah, I was a big Sonic fan back then. Like I still am now, but like the '90s was a great decade.
Yeah, and then the early years were the early 2000s were a little tougher than that, but it's
Yeah.
awesome, man. It's crazy. Like the 3DS has become like the system to go to for Sega games. There's a lot of stuff coming out on the 3DS.
And I just got one, so yes.
Yeah. They got Sonic Triple Trouble on it too, so
Ooh.
that was one of the first Sega games they dropped on it. They got Shinobi. Do they got Axe Battler on that? I
Is that
can't
all?
remember.
Now, is that all in their digital space?
Yeah, it's in the eShop.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah. I just got me a 3DS not too long ago, so I played the Sonic the All-Star Racing demo on that, and it looks good. Looks real good.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
Is there any like 3D like with that game at all?
Yeah. Actually, it looks nice, but I try not to use the 3D that much on that game.
I think
because,
everyone just turns the 3D off.
I try to turn it off. The first game I got was Street Fighter 4, and it just looked weird. It was hurting my eyes. I was like, you know what? I can't do this.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna have to pick up a 3DS soon. And I see everyone having so much fun with Animal Crossing. I'm jealous. I'll admit it. I want to play me some Animal Crossing.
I haven't played that since GameCube.
I know, but it was
First one.
awesome when
Yeah,
you
it
did.
was good.
I heard
Yeah,
this I heard this terribly sad story. I think it was on Reddit about Animal Crossing that I'll tell real quick. Apparently, like this guy, so him and his mom would play Animal Crossing together, and it's been a while since I read it, so I think I'm kind of recounting this accurately. If I'm not, forgive me. But anyway, so him and his mom would play Animal Crossing together all the time, and they would send letters to each other. You remember, like back in Animal Crossing, you could go into your mailbox, write a letter, and send it to someone else, and everything. But anyway, so they would send letters and stuff back, and he ended up, graduating high school, and he left for college, and he left his GameCube at home and stuff. And years later, his mom ended up getting cancer and died. Which is terrible. But then, so he went back home and got all of the he went back home to get some of the stuff that he had there, and while he was there he found his GameCube, and he also found his copy of Animal Crossing. So he was like, all right, like for old time's sake or whatever, he popped it in, and when he did, he saw all these letters from his mom. She had still been like playing the game like almost every day while he was in college, and she was still writing him letters. So like after she had passed away, it was like almost like a way for him to kind of like reconnect with his mom and like still read all these letters, from his mom, and see like how much told him like how much she loved him and all this other stuff, but. Really crazy story, and really emotional.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine something like that.
Wow.
But yeah, it's really, really deep. So,
Wow.
Dude.
Sorry.
Nah, it's just like
No,
I
that's
don't
a
even
good
know how to.
story.
That
Yeah.
is good. I like that.
But that's like, and I don't know, man. That's one of the reasons why video games, are so awesome. Stuff like that, that it can, you can have that level of, interaction with someone like that. It's pretty cool.
Wow. You
So.
see people getting married off of playing World of Warcraft together. So
Right on.
yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh wow, okay.
Yep. Is there any more news that we got, Graham?
Oh yeah, yes. Sorry, my interview. So that's why I keep disappearing. Another sort of Sonic thing. One, Shadow the Hedgehog is now available on the PS3 for download. So
Yay!
if you're into that sort of thing, go and get it. We know Chris loves that game.
Will, I think we might even talk about this later on, but
Okay.
I know Shadow the Hedgehog gets a lot of shit, and for a certain standpoint, I can understand because he has guns, and it's kind of silly. But when I was deployed to Qatar a few years ago, I brought that with me, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna sit down and I am gonna play this game until I fucking beat it, and I did. I actually beat that goddamn game, and I have to say, I don't think it's as bad as everyone made it out to be. It's certainly not a great game or a good game, but I don't think it's as bad as everyone makes it out to be.
Yeah, you know what the thing is? It just felt weird, man. It's like, man, this just feels out of place. It gave me that Mario Sunshine feeling. I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, dude, I'm used to seeing Mario 64. I'm used to like punching, swinging people. I'm like, this water jetpack thing. Come on. I'm not feeling. I mean, people have their own opinions against those two games, but as it just felt weird. And plus, I had the PS2 version, so everything was like felt laggy in that one.
Yeah,
So.
I was playing it on the PS2 as well, also.
Yeah, it's like I heard the original Xbox one was a little smoother, but it was just I got traumatized from the PS2 version. So,
Yeah.
it just I don't know, man. It just felt weird, man. Like I know they're trying to do it. It actually sold over 1 million copies, so like kudos to them for still selling. But I don't know, man. It just gave me that weird feeling when I played it.
So Graham, so this is actually out on the PSN store right now?
I believe so.
Because I saw a headline earlier, and I thought that it was okay. The headline that I read, I think I saw it on Twitter, was that it was coming to the Japanese greatest hits store or whatever, greatest hits collection. But I didn't realize that it was coming to the North American PSN store.
Well, that's what I read earlier. Now let's sit down. Now I'm gonna have to go and double check this. God damn it! Okay. I've actually gone to Radio Sega because we love them, and they tend to deliver us good news. Releasing it digitally in Japan. I apologise.
See, this is Graham all the time, never checking his facts. This is what he does.
I got so excited when I heard this. I just had to
I remember I got excited at first when they said Sonic the Fighters was going to come out at first, and then it was only Japan only for a while. I was like, oh, you're kidding me, man. So I was like one of the only 5 people in the world that enjoy that game. So yeah.
They haven't said it's definitely not coming out in the West. So yeah, I reckon it's going to come over here, maybe.
Maybe.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, but basically, it's meant to be coming out in Japan for 1,200 yen, which I think that's quite cheap actually, because their money's crazy. But yeah, there you go. One other last bit of news, which hopefully people will enjoy. If you've been on any form of digital service lately, you will hopefully see that SEGA has been having big game sales on Xbox Live Arcade, PSN, iOS, and Android devices. I believe the Android devices went on sale today, the games. They basically got a ton of games. They've got
Graham?
Sonic really ready.
Okay.
I think Graham is lagging out.
Yeah, he completely froze.
But what he was trying to say was that there's a lot of deals on like Xbox Live Arcade and PSN and iOS and Android, like just huge discounts. I recently just got Knights.
Wow, love that.
Yeah, see, man, I have it for the Sega Saturn, but I picked it up on Xbox Live for 400 points, which is $5.
$5, yep.
Yeah, so I mean, they have that for $5. They have Sonic Adventure 2 for $5.
They actually need to. They should have added Christmas Nights to that.
I
to
know.
That. Yeah, I've never played that game. I just kept hearing stories about it. I've never played it, so it's unfortunate. I will search for that game one day. But Nights was an incredible game. I purchased the analog stick just to play that game, man. So
Yep.
Yeah.
That like what looks like the future Dreamcast controller.
pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
That is an awesome controller.
Yes, it is.
I really like that controller.
Yeah, I was playing that. I was using that for everything. I was playing World Series. I was playing that with World Series Baseball too. Like
awesome.
come on, I'm like, come on, man. Like, it was a good control. This back when Funko Land was still open. So,
Oh,
Funko Land.
yeah.
You know what? I still talk about Funko Land, but the thing that I love most about Funko Land, you go into the store and you pick up that little like newspaper, and
Yes.
it has every game that
Yep.
they ever have on there, and it has
I-
all the
Yep.
prices right there.
Mhm,
Yep,
I used to
I
read it
love
like
that.
it was an actual book, man. Like,
Yeah.
it was some type of gaming testament or something, dude.
I
Like, I used
remember.
to.
Oh, I miss Funko Land so
I do too. You used to go inside. As soon as you come in, you have like 8 different TVs with like 8 consoles, different consoles. You just playing. I'm like, wow.
You just walls and walls of like retro games and everything. It was so
Pretty
awesome.
much.
The ones, I don't know if they did this like nationwide, but the ones by my house, you could go and tell them any game that you want to, like off the list. You'd be like, hey, I want to play Willow on NES. And they
Yep.
go get it and they put it in the NES. You could try it out right there.
Yep.
Yeah, there was some spots that could do that. Game
Yeah.
Crazy actually took that idea from them. So
Yeah.
back when Game Crazy was first open, I want to try
miss-
so. I do too. So
You know, and you know what? I was actually in GameStop today, actually, because I was buying a case for my Vita, and I was just like looking around at the store, and I was like, man, it just looks so much like a store. You know,
It's
it's
so
like it's not like a video game store. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
corporate.
right. It's just like, man, when you can get into like a real mom and pop video game store, it feels different. You know what I mean? And I think Funko Land still had that same kind of feel to it back then, where it was like, you know, it felt more real rather than you just like, it's, you know, I don't know,
And-
GameStop just feels so artificial.
and then you had the TV on top. Basically, it's just showing the same commercials over over again. It's like a brainwash. It's like, oh, come on, man. I feel sorry for the people. I used to actually work there, and I like it was like I got tired of video games like, for a while. I'm like,
I can
I'm
imagine.
not liking this place right now, man.
I hear you, man.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, like, it's always good to find a classic retro store. I always try to look a couple up and see if I can how far I am from them. So
We've got a bunch here for some reason.
You're lucky, man, because I'm down here. I'm kind of in a weird spot, but I'm halfway from like Baltimore and DC, so I'm
This
kind of in
place-
a weird
Game
area.
Cave.
What's
It's a
that?
Game Cave. Is it called Game Cave out there? I know it's in like a DC area or like Baltimore. I think it's called.
Huh.
I want to say Game Cave. It's like I could be wrong. I will look that up and probably
I have to
keep you
check that out.
posted.
Yeah, I've never
but-
heard of that. One
But-
that I do want to stop out. It's kind of a drive, but it's in Northern Virginia. It's East Starland. They're a big, website, video game website retailer or whatever. But they actually have a store in Northern Virginia that I really want to hit up here soon. And they actually have some decent prices, so I want to do that before too long. But yeah, there's not from what I've looked up, there's not a really good mom and pop store close by me. So I don't know. I'm still looking. Hopefully they'll open one up. But I think our last piece of news, though, Graham, is that there's a lot of stuff there's a lot of SEGA deals going on right now, right?
That's right. I think Steve just covered that actually.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
did you-
Graham kind of lagged out a little bit. So
Yeah, I
I
don't
finished
know what's
it
going on.
up.
My internet's plugged in via wire. We're meant to have Virgin fiber optic broadband over here, which means we like at least 30 megabytes a second download speed.
And you lagged out. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
lagging
so-
again.
Screw you, Virgin. Yeah. I don't know what to do.
It's normally not this bad.
No, I don't understand why.
All right, so I'll tell you what. We'll go into our next segment, Graham. Hopefully, your internet will fix itself here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But so you know,
Before we go into that,
okay,
if you don't mind, I just wanted to give a shout out to both mine and Steve's Sonic attire that we, you know.
I actually had a Sonic shirt on too, but like unfortunately the video.
It shows. I think you have Raphael in the video.
Oh no, I'm talking about that's Raphael right there, but I'm talking about like as of right now because I thought it was going to be. It was going.
Dude,
like,
you got to take a picture of your T-shirt right now, and then we can put it up on like the podcast later when we post on the show or something. That'd be awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
And also, if anyone can see it, I'm also wearing a Sonic the Hedgehog beanie.
Nice.
Got a Zero Gravity Riders thing, and I want to take. The reason I want to mention that is I want to take it off because I'm starting to sweat in here.
Hey Steve, after the show, you know, do you think you can make a YouTube thumbnail that includes Mr. Wilson in it?
Yeah, I think I can.
Maybe we'll have him be Amy in it, like put his face on Amy's body, maybe.
Wow.
No, because right now I think we have. Who do we have? We have.
We have
Tails.
Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails.
Right. Well, so we need Amy's in there, right?
We could do Metal Sonic.
I can't be Big the Cat.
Or Robotnik, maybe. Maybe Robotnik, like floating in on his like little thing.
Is Egomatic?
Yeah,
Have his Egomatic floating with his head on top of it.
That would be awesome.
I can't be Mighty the Armadillo.
Just Chris, just email that, like a headshot of him, just his face.
Okay, I'll send something. So
that'll be awesome. Yeah, that'll be good. So,
I mean, I don't know when I'll be able to get to it. I mean, I should be able to have it done by tomorrow. The thumbnail. Work. I just I'm gonna go get those games, and I'm basically gonna get ready for work, and I am working 9 hours tonight. So
yeah, no rush, but whenever we can get it, I think.
Oh yeah, no, I will totally do that. I'm totally down. That'll be fun as hell.
Yeah, Steve makes all of our really hilarious YouTube thumbnails and everything.
Thumbnails.
So, yeah.
our giant heads and the little like Sonic and Knuckles and Tails bodies.
So, what we want to do now, continuing on with the Sonic, theme and everything, we want to talk about some of our fondest Sonic memories and experiences. So to kick us off, Mr. Wilson, why don't you start us off with that? Since you're our special guest, thinking back on all the Sonic games that you played, throughout, going back to Sonic 1, what are some of your best experiences and your fondest memories of those games?
I feel like the best Sonic experience I had was Sonic 3 and Knuckles, man. I feel like my Sonic and Knuckles is my personal favorite Sonic game, like of all time, because without Sonic and Knuckles, there'll be no Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So I feel like that was the ultimate adventure. You get the Sonic 3 worlds, and then you get the Sonic and Knuckles worlds. You can get Super Tails, Hyper Sonic, Hyper Knuckles. I was like, wow, this is like the ultimate game. So, and I felt like it was just more epic. The Doomsday Zone, everything, man. It's just, I just had a great time playing that. Like I will play it for years. I'm like, wait, I forgot I gotta buy some more Sega Genesis games, right? I remember the first time I became an actual like a Super Sega fan. I got for my 6th birthday. I'll never forget this. I got a Genesis 2, and it came with Sonic 2, and I will play that game for months. I was like, I had to buy another game, right? it was just that feeling, like especially when playing with Tails. I was for the first time like solo. I was like, oh wow, this is definitely a new thing, because I did not like Tails back in the day.
No one did.
Because the thing was, like, he just screw up everything. Like the bonus levels, I was like, oh come on, man. I'm like, and it'd be times like I'm missing 2 or 1 ring. I was like, Tails, you messed it up again. So so it's just like, I had a great experience, man. Like just with most of the Sonic games, like from the early 90s, mid 90s, late. So there's too many stories basically, but the Sonic 3 and Knuckles is like my personal favorite, man. Just love that game.
Right on. What about you, Steven?
I'll never forget it. I remember it just like yesterday. I had a buddy that lived across the street from me when I was a kid, who had like all the Nintendo games. Like we played Mario, we played Paperboy and stuff, and I had a lot of fun. But in 1st grade, I met my best friend Shane at the time, and we went to his house, and it was the first time I went to his house. He had a Sega Genesis. I'm like, ooh, what's this? I've never seen this before. And he plugs in Sonic 2. And I will never forget. I was just like, what is this? This is so awesome. It's so much better than Mario. He's blue. He's fast. He kills shit all over the place. I mean, the music was great. My life was changed forever. No, I'm serious. Like Sonic at that point, like that day, became my favorite video game character of all time. Still is. That got me into the show. That got me into the comics. That got me into like just, I mean, anything. I had anything and everything Sonic the Hedgehog growing up. I even brought this like book to school. It was like one of those big books that has like the sound effect buttons on the side. I don't know if you guys remember those.
Do you remember the Hot Wheels toy? Like it was like a Sonic. He was on a motorcycle and he had like, a ring in his hand.
Oh, yeah, I used to have that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I used to have that. I had that, and I got like all the McDonald's toys.
Yes.
Yeah, it just became this huge thing for me. So I'll never forget my favorite Sonic memory is actually watching my friend play Sonic 2 for the first time, and it was love after that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Graham, what about you, man?
Whoa. Okay. Yeah.
I think. Are you wearing pajama pants?
Tell you what, I am. But not steady.
That is so gangster.
What is that?
Sweet. So
There's Sonic.
yeah,
Oh,
Sonic the Hedgehog.
it looks like confetti pants.
yeah, it looks like explosions, like fireworks or something.
If I get any closer.
Those are actually dress pants in England, right there. It's like
Those
Take a
are
look at
awesome.
that action.
oh my god.
Those are
Yeah.
awesome. It's old school Sonic 2. It's not new anorexic Sonic.
Exactly, yeah. Oh man, I love it. And also, I've got a tiny little Tails LCD game that my
Whoa.
friend gave me, which I think it came from McDonald's or something. But
Yeah, that came from McDonald's. There was a Sonic one I still have too. So.
Oh man,
Wow.
That's awesome. Fondest memories. See, this thing, I've got a few.
Don't take
Basically,
mine.
I'll try and go through really quickly. When I the first sort of proper console, well, it wasn't not really a console, but the first thing I had of Sega's was a Game Gear, and I got it with it came with a little 4-in-1 pack thing, which didn't have any Sonic games on it. But then, like for the first birthday I had after it, I went to a shop called PC World over here, and I saw Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And I was like, oh my god, Sonic the Hedgehog 2! And I played Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Mega Drive. And this was totally different, and it blew my mind because it was so different. And yet, I kind of think I preferred it to the Mega Drive version. Most people don't, but it's not harder. But it was so much fun, especially when you're a little 8-year-old kid playing it on your portable, and it's just like, this is so much fun. And the first boss in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is like the hardest boss I think in any Sonic game. It was just ridiculous. You had no rings, and it's really hard bouncing balls. Yep. Oh my god,
Hate that.
Hate that boss.
Yeah. I think another great memory I had of Sonic was playing Christmas Nights for the first time and unlocking Sonic as a playable character. And you could run around the sort of Nights level as Sonic the Hedgehog.
I did not know
Like,
that.
sort of save the day.
Wow.
Oh, it's so awesome when you do that. Annoyingly, on the new PSN and Xbox Live Arcade releases of Nights, which has the Christmas Nights add-on, it doesn't have that feature. You can't play as Sonic.
Aw, bummer.
No, it's so annoying. Oh man. And one other little thing was Sonic and I'm sure you guys know this, but just in case you didn't, in Sonic with the Sonic and Knuckles, if you plug in any other Genesis or Mega Drive game,
The bonus levels.
yeah, you can play the bonus level. It comes up with a thing saying no way, but there's a common there's a buttons you press on the control pad, and you can play the bonus levels. And each game you put in is different. And me and my friend I've got like 60 Mega Drive games or something. Me and my friend sat all night just plugging in each different cartridge to see what level would come up. And it was so awesome.
I think here's a little thing. What's the last? I think if you put Miss Pac-Man in, I think it's the final level that bonus level. I mean, I can't. I cannot make this up. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Miss Pac-Man, because I know there was some games they let you just play certain bonus levels, and there was another one that just let you put passwords in and go on a certain level. So that was kind of like crazy. I would play those things all day. I used to love those bonus levels.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that? Kind of reminds me. Do you remember that toy back in the day, Barcode Battlers?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Where you like scan like barcodes and it'd like bring a monster in. It kinda
Yeah.
reminds me of that. Oh, it's so good. They should bring that back for like phones and stuff, like the
You think they
QR
would,
codes
right?
and stuff. You could like just scan stuff.
Yeah, that would be good, man.
I
I
just go
remember,
to Walmart scanning shit all day.
I remember they tried to do that with what's that game called? Monster Rancher. I think it was called, yeah, Monster Rancher. Like they
Oh,
were
you put the CDs in, right?
yeah, like you put Mariah Carey CD in there. You get like a big rock golem looking thing. I was like, oh wow, okay.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, so
That's so
I'll
cool.
tell you what, you guys picked some really good ones, but I think I have a lot of Sonic memories, like all of you guys, but I think going back, my most, like, oh my god Sonic moment was the first time I saw Sonic Adventure in full motion. I was like, holy shit. That was like the first time where I was like, the graphics are so amazing. Like, it looks like real life. That's what I was like when I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god. You saw Sonic running and, you know, the killer whales, you know, like jumping and shit and busting up the bridge. I was like, oh my god, this looks amazing. That was when next gen for me really happened. I was like,
Yep.
I couldn't fucking believe it. I was like, god damn, this looks good. I was blown away. And I was immediately like fell in love with the Dreamcast right then and there. I'll tell you what I did. We went to GameStop after that, and we traded in. My brother and we traded in all of our existing video game systems. Like I think
Oh
we
my
had like
God.
all of our
Oh,
PlayStation 1,
wow.
all of our like our PlayStation 1, all of our games, everything. We traded in all of it so we could get enough money to reserve a Dreamcast. I think we got Sonic Adventure and Zombie Revenge on day one with an
yeah.
extra controller. But we traded in all that stuff. But it was going back to that, you know, that one like video, and I was working at a grocery store at the time, and what was great is that every month we would get a new official Dreamcast magazine in.
yes.
Oh, I remember that.
I still got like 3
Oh my
issues.
God.
One with the Jet Set Radio, one with Shenmue, and like something else. I can't remember
I
like
got
the third
rid of
issue.
mine. I hate myself for it.
Oh man, you can go on
I've
eBay and still find them though. Believe it or not.
I've
so.
still got all the UK ones
Let
somewhere.
me see. Let me see. Here's the one with
Ooh la la.
Ooh La La. We got her on there.
Yeah, I never got
Let's
that.
see. I don't have the full collection, but I have the one with. This is a good one with Phantasy Star online.
That's the exact one I used to have. Yep, I used to have that one.
We got
Yep.
Phantasy
Yep.
Star. Let's
I was
see
so mad
here.
when they discontinued the official Dreamcast
wow.
thing. I was so
Unreal
pissed.
Tournament. You remember that one? You know what was great about this magazine though too is the paper stock on it was awesome.
Yeah,
We had some Tony Hawk.
Yep.
And
Really awesome feel to it. Yep.
yeah, and then Jet Set Radio.
that's my personal favorite issue right there.
With
Yeah,
the Jet
so-
Set.
Yeah,
That looks awesome actually.
I miss
Oh,
that
it was so
magazine so
good.
much.
Yeah,
It was
your
so
magazines
good.
look way different.
that
to
one
ours.
right there. Cause I think it was like a Dead or Alive 2 demo. If I'm not
The
mistaken.
demos were the best thing about it. But going back to what I was saying was that every time there would be a new issue that came out, I wouldn't even bother buying it. What I would do is I would just go, I would take the magazine, I would go to the bathrooms, lock the door, and I would just sit in the restroom for about an hour and a half and read it from cover to cover. And I would just sit there and read it. And I wouldn't even bother with working or fuck that shit. I would just read it. But anyway, like I would keep up. That's how I kept up with Sonic Adventure and everything. But going back to that, and then the first time I played Sonic Adventure, oh my god, it was so awesome. That was the first time I was able to like really play Sonic in like a real 3D environment. And you know, it was just going back.
That's
Yeah, it was
beautiful thing.
amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah. Just
That
one
was-
thing about those Dreamcast magazines, like that's the last time I remember actually really loving demos, like demo discs and stuff when they came on those
Yeah.
magazines. Like I had like on Xbox magazine over here and stuff. You got demos and stuff. It's never the same. When you got the Dreamcast one with like a demo in it, like yeah, come on, and yeah, that like man, it's so good. Anyway, sorry, continue.
I still have all the Max Payne stuff, Graham, that we got from PAX East. Do you remember that?
Oh god, yeah.
Man, so
I think I threw most of my stuff away.
yeah, I probably should throw this away. Anyway,
But some
so-
good memories.
yeah. So okay, Graham added a bunch of stuff on here for Sonic stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll try to go through these next ones a little more quick. So our favorite Sonic compilation collection.
And that could be any sort of. I'm thinking any compilation. You can have like sort of the Mega Drive collection thing we've got the Sonic games on, or proper Sonic specific compilation. Just to throw that out there for you.
It has to be okay. Wait,
yeah.
wait. What are the rules around this? Is it like it has to be all Sonic games?
No, I was thinking it could be Oh, God. Actually, fuck it. Just say Sonic. All Sonic games.
All Sonic
It
games?
has to be all Sonic games.
Yeah,
Okay.
because there are actually quite a few just Sonic only compilations out there which have been released over the time. Yeah. So.
Well, shit. Okay. Well, you go first then, motherfucker.
Okay, I will do. Yeah.
Sorry, I've been having a
It's
lot of
easy.
beer over here.
It's an easy one. Sonic Jam on the Saturn, because you've got most of the main Sonic games. Unfortunately, it doesn't have Sonic CD and 1 second. Actually, got my signed copy here by Yuji Naka and Takeshi Izuki, which is awesome.
I'm so jealous of you, man.
Yeah. Well, basically, it had Sonic, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Sonic and Knuckles on it. So it didn't have a Sonic game.
Wow.
Where did you get
I
that
met
signed
them
at?
both at Summer of Sonic a couple of years ago, which is the UK event. And yeah, managed to get
I
that
like
signed.
your guys' case over there better. I like the
Son-
Wait, what
Son-
is that? Let me
Son-
see. Show me that case again. What is that? That's a Saturn case?
That's how all the Saturday
Yeah.
games look out there?
Yeah.
Pretty
Wow.
much, yeah.
Yeah.
I
felt
love
like
the.
if we dropped the case in America, whole thing crashed.
Look at our
It felt
shitty
like-
cases. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
like, you open
Please.
it up and it's like it breaks. Like,
Pretty much.
look, see, this is how shitty it is. Look, see,
Yeah,
I
it just
mean,
falls apart.
it's-
Yeah, I've got a.
Sorry.
I always felt that UK and Japan had better Sega covers than us. You know, so
Wait, that
like-
looks like almost like a PlayStation 1 long box.
yeah.
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 Oh
It's
wow.
kind of like it's kind of like a DVD case. I feel like. But,
I'm jealous.
well,
We suck.
You
yeah.
you guys
Right.
got the better Dreamcast cases, because our Dreamcast cases suck as well. Like this rubbish, plasticky piece of
I
junk.
like it. I think it looks a little better than the regular jewel case.
It kind of looks good, but they break so easily. Like
That's
you just
with
open
these
it, like
too.
you said.
These are essentially they are the same things as Sega CD cases.
Oh boy.
Right.
Because
okay.
look, I mean, look, they're the. I mean, this is okay. This is Dracula on Sega CD.
Yeah, it's pretty much the
It's
same.
the same
case.
thing.
Yep.
It's the
just
same
blue,
exact thing.
Just different
So you-
colors.
They probably thought that Sega CD was going to last a lot longer, so they bought loads of cases for it, and then it
And
failed. Like
this one's broken too. Shit. They were nice that they put these little foam inserts in there. Like,
know.
oh, we don't want the discs rattling around this big ass fucking case.
No one else
yeah.
had those cases, so it just goes to show that was like one of the few things Sega did wrong.
Yeah.
The
Damn you,
few,
Sega.
one of the few things.
One of the few. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, back in the day, I mean.
Between 1992 and 95 were some terrible moves, man. I'm just going behind the scenes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Sonic Jam. Sorry. One of the reasons I love it so much is because if you didn't know about it, it's got the little mini 3D Sonic world on it. That
Mhm.
essentially you can run around the little world as Sonic, and you can visit a Sonic museum. You can visit like a little mini theater which shows you like the opening to Sonic CD and stuff. And it was just like a really cool little thing. But also in that little world, you actually had like little mini games, like a ring collecting game and stuff, and like little challenges to do, as well as like playing the actual Sonic games. And such a bit like, I think it's probably a full 3D. I think it's one of the presentations of in 3D. Because he's a lot slower than he like the game stuff like morning game, but he's fast and but easy enough
sounds
to
like a
control.
robot.
I wish they did 3D like that again. Anyway, yeah.
All right.
Is my sound gone? No.
No, your sound's still there, but like it was cutting in and out. And you sounded like a robot.
Oh, okay. I am a robot. Hello. Anyway, so yeah, basically, Sonic Jam, awesome little 3D world. Steve, what about you? What's your favorite?
Sonic Jam.
Yeah.
It was the first console Sonic game I ever owned. Also the thing that they did that was much different than the other games too is that they gave you easy, medium, and hard difficulty. So like when you'd play the special stages in Sonic 3 or even Sonic 2, you'd have to collect either less rings or like, you know how in Sonic 3 when you're playing the special stages and you hit enough spheres, it speeds up. Well, in the easy version, it doesn't speed up. So as a kid, I was an idiot. I played it on easy. So now when I go back and play the originals, I can't beat them. I can only get like 4 Chaos Emeralds because it goes so fast. But yeah, no, the main reason I like Sonic Jam the most is because of that 3D world where it was like the first Sonic thing that actually had like you could watch videos, and it was like before YouTube and everything. You could watch the videos, you could like see all these like concept art, and you found out Sonic's age through there too. So yeah, it was really awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Mr. Wilson.
Yep. I'm gonna say I gotta be the eyeball, I guess. I gotta say Mega Collection. That's like my personal favorite. The reason why I got it for Xbox, and the reason why I purchased an Xbox, period, because it just gave me that Dreamcast feeling. That was the closest thing to Dreamcast you're gonna get. So when Mega Collection first came out, I was like, oh man, I gotta get this. I gotta get this. So I got that. I got the PC version. Man, I was not playing, but the Xbox version was just so dope to me, man. Like you get to see the artwork. You get to just play all of the retro Sonic games from back in the day with the Xbox controller that felt like Dreamcast. So it just gave me that nostalgia feeling when I played it. And when that came out, like 03, 04, if I'm not mistaken, it came out one of those years, and it just felt good getting that Sega memory, because that's another reason why I was getting Xbox, because I was getting a whole bunch of Sega games that was coming out for that. Like, I was so biased when that console, man. But like, I have to say, Mega Collections, guys. I honestly did not play Jam until like later on, like a couple years after I got Collection, when I actually got another Saturn and got the Jam. So, and then non-related Sonic. I mean, I have to add this too. I'm sorry. The Genesis 6-pack. Like it had Sonic 1 in it, but it just had like the other 5 games were classics, man. So
Yeah.
that's why I was hoping. I'm like, man, I hope he says non-related Sonic too, because
I was going to, then Chris made me not. Basically.
Yeah. But I had to add a 6-pack in there.
Right
so.
on. I think I'm gonna have to cheat. I don't know if it's technically, but the one that I always look back at as being like one of the greatest compilations of all time is the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. And I'm using this because it has Sonic as the main title. But it has 40 Genesis games on it. You look at the Sonic games on it, though, it has some of the best Sonic games. You got Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3. You have Sonic 3D, Flicky's Island, Sonic Spinball. You have all of those games, but then you got all sorts of other stuff. You even have Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine on there. I mean, there's tons of really great games. What's funny is that I actually saw this at GameStop today while I was like looking through. It's like $18 used.
Wow.
And to get all of these games, there's 40 games right away. They have also a bunch of unlockable games that you can get too. You can get Zaxxon, Space Harrier, Shinobi, Phantasy Star, Golden Axe Warrior, Altered Beast, Fantasy Zone. There's a bunch of other games that you can get.
For $40, it's like 50 cents a piece. Not
there
even.
you go, right there.
Yeah.
Graham's showing it off.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the English version. It's called they call it Sega Mega Drive Collection over here. But yeah, it's got loads of games, 40 games.
That's one of the best compilations of all time, right there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to pick that up.
I have it. I have it on my. Let's see. I think I. No. I don't have. I have the man. What's the one on the PSP? They came out with another one like a little bit later.
It was the same game.
Was it?
It was
I don't think it was called Sonic's Ultimate.
No, it wasn't Ultimate, but it had no. I'm sorry. Was that?
Over here,
have
it's the Mega Drive Collection, but it had 27 Mega Drive games on it, not 40.
Right.
Yeah,
I do have that one.
There we go. Yeah, I had that one for PSP.
And then you got the other one, the Xbox and stuff. Which...
Yeah. I actually have that one on my PSP right now. Christopher has it. I put that in his PSP when he flew down to Texas to visit his mom for the summer. So he has that down there. He's playing some old school Genesis games. That's.
I remember when I did a review of like the one on the Xbox 360, and I gave it an excellent score, and people were complaining because they said, "Oh, it's too similar to the one on the PSP." And I was like, "Yeah, and the PSP one's amazing, and this has got more games on it. So why is this not better?"
Right.
Like, oh, okay, yeah, fine then. But they just like complaining that because it was kind of similar. But I was just like, it's got more on it, and it's the same stuff, but it's better. What's wrong with you people? Oh, well, anyway.
That's crazy. All right, so next. We are going to talk about...
So moving on, are we? Let's move on.
Yes, let's move on. We're going to talk about some of the worst Sonic games out there.
Oh, man.
So, all right, Steven, you're sitting here biting your fingernails.
Yep.
Why don't you tell us what your worst Sonic game is?
I think it's pretty, for me, it's self-explanatory. Sonic 06, the game that almost ruined my favorite video game character of all time. I mean, not only was it just the mechanics, because the mechanics were awful. Sonic would take like 10 years to get going, get up to speed. And God, I remember this game. I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be the best Sonic game ever. It's his 50th anniversary. It's called Sonic the Hedgehog. It's amazing. It's gonna be great. And then it opens up with that really terrible CGI, like Robotnik looks like a real human being, and Sonic's falling in love with the human girl. It's like, why? Why? I understand that they incorporated humans into Sonic Adventure, but it wasn't like huge thing. I mean, it was Sonic amongst the humans in the world, but like I don't know. I hated the mechanics. I hated the acting. I didn't even like the music. I hated the levels. It was awful. I hated it, and I traded it in as soon as I was like done with it. And I was at that point. I was almost like, yeah, I'm done with Sonic. And if they come out with anything else, I'm done. I'm just gonna remember all the good times previous to Sonic 06. And even Sonic Heroes at that point looked like one of the greatest games of all time. So, and it wasn't terrible, but I mean, it was no Sonic Adventure 2. I mean, you follow up Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, and
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Sonic 06.
Awesome.
What about you, Chris? What about you?
Oh man, you put me on the spot. I was sitting there reading some stuff to try to talk about here in a little bit. Yeah, you know, I'd have to. Man, I don't want to sit there and say Sonic 06 again, but it's tough not to say that isn't the worst Sonic game. It's just really a really bad game. You know, I talked a little bit about Shadow the Hedgehog, just so I don't say the same thing that Steve did. I'll say Shadow the Hedgehog because it's probably the second worst game in the Sonic universe. I don't think it's as bad as everyone made it out to be. Everyone made it out to be this like incredible travesty of a video game. I don't think it's that bad. However, I will say that it's probably the second worst game in the Sonic universe ever created. It just felt like as you're controlling Shadow, it felt like you were on ice. Like as he's running, it just felt like he's like skidding along. It did not feel right. It felt really the controls were really bad. You're shooting these like weird blocky cops and stuff throughout the game. It was just really crazy. Not a good game whatsoever. But I will say that I'm one of the few that I think actually played that game to completion. It was one of those times where I was like, I'm going to sit here and beat this game, and I'm not going to move until I do. And I sat like there for, I think it took a whole weekend of me just sitting there like focused and trying to get it done. I ended up doing it, and I'm almost like proud to say like I've endured Shadow the Hedgehog. So awesome. All right, Mr. Wilson, what do you got?
I might have to change it up, man. I'm going to say the Sonic the Hedgehog 1 remake on a Game Boy Advance.
Oh,
I felt it was so terrible, man. I was so hype about it. Like when I first heard on the magazine, I was like, okay, they be remaking Sonic 1. The Game Boy Advance was like one of my favorite consoles at the time, and they made like Sonic Advance 1 through 3, Battle. I was like, okay, so the remake is gonna be great, and they added Spin Dash to it. I was like, okay, this is gonna be good. So I played the game, and as soon as it starts, it just start lagging. I'm thinking it's my GBA. I'm like, what's wrong with my GBA? I'm taking the game out. I'm trying the other games. I'm like, okay, I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. So I put the game back in, and like the whole game is lagging. I was like, are you kidding me? Like even the music was kind of slow, like do 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 do. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I was so disappointed in that game, and like a lot of Sonic fans were like were so pissed. I saw in a couple of like the Sonic forums and everything, and they were so pissed off about that remake, and it really pissed me off. So like I had to take out the freaking Genesis and like I need a nostalgia feel. Let me play Sonic 1 again.
Oh man,
it's like I don't recommend, but if you like to like look for shitty games to see if it's really shitty, just go and look for Sonic 1 for the Game Boy Advance. It's horrible, man. So that's why I'm so glad. I think they bring it to the iPhone, adding the Spin Dash feature and everything to it. So I'm glad they're not going to mess that one up because they already released a Sonic 1 on iPhone, on the iOS, and it looks great. So I highly doubt they're gonna mess this one up. Just adding the spin dash feature to it.
Yeah.
But don't play it. But like I said, if you wanna see what it looks like, go ahead. Be my guest.
Graham?
Cool. Yeah, I think hopefully I'm not going to cut out a game. I think actually I don't even think I know my worst Sonic game is Sonic and the Smegging Black Knight on the Nintendo Wii. That is literally I can't even like Sonic and the Secret Rings was kind of playable and fun, and I kind of enjoyed that. But the Black Knight was just what. There's nothing. There's literally nothing about it that is Sonic about it. Like he's using a sword now, which some people are like, oh yeah, that sounds quite cool. Because I know it's not meant to be like a main Sonic game, but just the controls are terrible because you keep running forward and stuff. And there's like one of the first bosses you come to, like a big dragon thing, and literally Sonic just runs into this dragon, and you just stand there and sort of wave the Wiimote around. Sonic's just like jumping up and down with his sword, and you know, it's like there's no skill involved, and it was just like this is just.
Left him speechless.
Yep.
Wow, he's
Did a few
frozen.
levels.
It's so bad.
His frozen head is like. We lost a little bit of you there, Graham.
Yeah, I think
That's how bad the game was. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
It froze him. It literally froze him in
quit
person.
Graham's internet is how bad it was.
man.
He raged so hard.
It's the Black Knight spiritual. Believe it or not, a lot of people said that Shuffle was terrible. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I like that game.
I love Shuffle.
Yeah, and it was. I remember there used to be a show on G4 called Filter, and they had like the top 10. You know, they had like a top 10 stuff, and they had the top 10 worst games of all time. I'm like, who the hell's voting for this? Because they put Sonic Shuffle and Shenmue in it. So I'm like, okay, something's really wrong here. And I enjoyed.
They put
Shuffle.
Shenmue in it.
They had it number 2, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
What?
Yeah. So I'm like, who the hell voted for this? So
Yes.
yeah, and I remember Shuffle being like number 6, number 8. It was one of those two, and
What?
yeah, I guess I enjoyed those 10 times more than Mario parties. So
Well, now G4 isn't around anymore, so they got.
Yeah, no, right? So yes, Shuffle was good. I actually kind of enjoyed
Actually,
it.
on my YouTube page, I have us playing through it, and it's actually a tradition. Every time my friend comes to visit from California, we play it together. And there's always one mini game he can always get and beat, and we can't. You know what, the mini game, like the accident mini games that you get, like it's at the forest level with the crocodiles.
Oh
And you
yeah.
have to press A like mad to get out of the crocodile's mouth.
Yeah.
He is the only person out of all my friends, out of all the years that we've had the game, like 10 years or whatever, that can beat it.
I've never. No, I couldn't do that.
It's impossible.
Only one I could really do was like a jump rope thing, and you had to
Yeah.
jump in and make sure you don't get hit. And I just used to pick Knuckles on purpose to mess up. Like, oh man.
Oh man.
So like, yeah, that was a good game. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you sound like you're underwater, but we can hear you.
Ah, god damn it. I don't know what's going on. Like, I've got minimal windows open now that.
And I don't know where Chris went either.
So, did you get to hear my worst Sonic game, or?
Yes,
Yeah, we heard the Black
Yep.
Knight. It was
Yes.
it was the Black Knight spiritual that messed up your connection. So it was, that's how terrible the game was, man.
Whew.
So,
So yeah, Chris is gone. Where's he gone?
did he mention his worst?
I think he mentioned Shadow.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, he mentioned
Shadow,
Shadow
didn't
the
he? Yeah.
Hedgehog. Yeah.
Cool. So, move on to our next topic, which is our most underrated Sonic game. So it's not the best Sonic game out there. It's not even your favourite, but what you think is the most underrated. You think it's actually not as bad as everyone's making it out to be. So I'll start with you, Mr. Wilson. Guess first.
Battle. I love Sonic Battle. On a GBA, it was a good fighting game. I like the mechanics. I liked everything about that game, man. Like I used to play that every day, man. And I have to add another one to it, Rush. Like a lot of people didn't give Rush the credit they deserve, man. But like just adding the new character, Blaze the Cat, and then Sonic. So like I don't know. I enjoyed a lot of the handheld Sonic games because I feel like they was like the ones that was like keeping Sonic alive. You know, this is because Rush came out around the time '06 came out. So yeah. Yeah, so like I would say most of the handhelds are like the underrated ones, except for the Brotherhood game. That game was terrible. But other than that, I would say Battle. Battle is like my personal favorite though, because I always wanted to see a fighting game. Was Sonic in it? Like, well, like the Fighters was out, but I'm talking about like in a 2D point of view, and then like like they did it with Mugen. I don't know if y'all know about the game Mugen when they had a whole bunch.
Yeah, I saw that.
So like Sonic got crazy combos on that game, but like I'm talking about a real one. So that's why I like Sonic Battle is my personal favorite. And I'm a big fighting head too. So like I love fighting games. So like just to see Sonic in that zone, so I'm like I would say Battle.
Oh, awesome choice. Steve, what about you?
I'm gonna go with Sonic Heroes. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. The thing is, it's really hard to follow up Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, and I think it was unfair to Sonic Heroes because that was also when he went multi-platform for the first time, I believe, too. So I think it was enjoyable. I remember having a lot of fun with it. It had good music and everything. I just think it got a little bit of a bad rap because it followed Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, and it had a different formula than the other Sonic games did. But I don't think it was as bad as everyone. I mean, it's not the best game of all time, but I think it was better than most people give it credit for.
Yeah, I have to totally agree with you on that one. Like, I actually love Sonic Heroes at the end of it. I was playing it going, this is weird, and then by the end of it, I was like, this is awesome. Oh my god! Like, I know it's completely different to any other Sonic game. The mechanics are weird. I love the levels in it. I thought the gameplay was actually held up quite well.
It was a really pretty looking game too. So
yeah, definitely. Like the casino level was insane. Remember that bit?
Yeah.
But, I think my most underrated Sonic game is Steve's worst Sonic game, which is Sonic 06. And I can explain why.
Whoa.
Hold on. Wait,
Okay, calm down. Basically, when I first played the game, because I bought it as well, I've got it right here in front of me. I got it when it first came out. I was like, yeah, this is going to be amazing, and put it in, and pretty much like everybody else, I was like, what is this? This is like practically crying, like not being able to sleep at night because it was so bad. Waking up to the sound of my own tears, and basically, it was terrible. And so I didn't finish it. I only played a couple of levels. I then went back maybe 5 years later. No, 6. Hold on, 2006. Maybe 4 years later, 2010. So a couple of years ago, basically. I thought, you know what, I'm going to play it again. When I put it in, it did an update for the game, like you sort of always do. And I found the game way more playable. It's not the best Sonic game out there, don't get me wrong, but I found it way more playable than it was. Most of the bugs had gone out from the game. And because of that, it actually started to become more fun. It's, as I say, it's still not the best game. There's like the bits where you play as Tails and Shadow I did not like, but I love playing as Sonic. I kind of enjoyed playing as Silver. And while the weird romance with Sonic is going on, like with the human woman, the rest of the story I actually quite likes because there's like quite a good bad character and stuff in it, and I at the end of it I kind of enjoyed it. So that's my most underrated Sonic game right there. Boom. Chris, my man.
I've already kind of answered this, so I won't go too much into it, but I think Shadow the Hedgehog is a really underrated game. I know.
It's like answer for every question, Shadow.
I'm sorry, but it was not as bad as everyone made it out to be. It was not a great game by any stretch of the imagination, like I've said before, but there is some fun to be had if you just kind of disconnect from the whole Sonic thing, and if you come in with no like preconceived notions as to what you're going to play. I think there could be some fun there. It probably doesn't hold up very well, today, because back then it wasn't necessarily a great game, even, on the PS2. But I think if you weren't coming into it expecting greatness and expecting it to play like a Sonic game, you probably could have had some fun with it. So that's going to be mine. So I probably picked Shadow the Hedgehog for every single game.
Your worst Sonic game and your most underrated Sonic game are both Shadow the Hedgehog. Just
Did
terrifying.
I pick them?
Yeah,
It's the worst
Yeah.
Sonic game. It's a shadow.
It is the worst Sonic game, but it's also underrated. It that.
Okay, that's cool. That's fine. No,
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
All right. So I think that's going to wrap up most of our Sonic talk now.
Yeah, although there's a couple more, kind of, actually.
Of course.
If we go into that's our main Sonic news and stuff, and like the chat we've been doing. But if we move on to the community news, which we always love to do, give shout out to people. A bit more Sonic fun times ahead. Basically, if you're into it, Summer of Sonic 2013 has been announced. Yes, and if you don't know about Summer of Sonic, it's now a massive event in England. It was started by guys from the Sonic Stadium at Sonic Rex. It started as an online sort of little thing, and it's actually become a physical event. And the first one I went to the first 3 or 4, and it's got bigger and bigger each year. And they have like really fun things. They have like guest speakers like Yuji Naka. Like people like they have like Crush 40 who've done lots of Sonic Dongs, and Bentley Jones who's done Sonic stuff. They come on today, and it's like a big fun Sonic time. But yeah, Summer Sonic 2013 has been announced. It's going to happen on Saturday the 3rd of August. This can place in London in Westminster Central Hall, which I guess is in Westminster. I'm not sure where that is actually, but yeah.
Is that different than where they've had it in the past?
No, they've changed every year. Most years it's been in London. The one year was in a place called Brighton, which is further south. But yeah, they haven't been able to get a fixed location yet. So yeah, it's a little bit different. It's been different every year, but it's kind of good that way because it mixes it up a bit. But it says expect a full day's worth of Sonic-based fun and entertainment with a twist. And on the actual sort of Summer Sonic website, they've got Metal Sonic as like the face of it, which is a bit different. So I think they are going to try something different this year with it. But yeah, it's promising to be a good thing. And I know it's UK based, but if you're in America, Sonic Boom's been announced. Yes, which is that's actually Sega America's official Sonic event. That's actually happened. The Summer of Sonic happened in the UK. Sega America went, that looks. Let's just do this.
And neither one of them invited me. That sucks.
Oh man, you can get that. I don't think tickets and stuff have like come out yet for either of them, but so you might be able to get onto it. But yeah, Sonic Boom is happening. Okay, this could be. I don't know where this is, but St. Louis, MO.
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Yes, he said St. Louis.
Hey.
Oh, you're so English.
Where is that? Where's MO? I don't know
That's
where that
Missouri.
It's Missouri.
Missouri. Right, okay, fine. St. Louis.
There you
go. America. And that's happening on Saturday the 10th
It's near Mexico,
August.
Graham.
Damn you.
Actually, like a lot of people have been talking about on Twitter, I've been seeing like they don't understand why Sega's doing it there. Because Sega, they put out on the Sega blog, they said, hey, we've traditionally held Sonic Boom, I think, in like California, New York.
San Fran,
right?
Usually. Yeah.
And so they want to put it somewhere else, but St. Louis is kind of a weird spot still, I think. Because it is like in the middle of the country, but I don't know. Like, I don't think that they're gonna get a ton of people. It's not going to be that heavily attended, I don't think. Like if they wanted,
Seattle,
believe it or not, I've done a rap battle in Columbia, Missouri, but I was in the Kansas City area, and believe it or not, with the right people, I think like a lot of people from like the Kansas City / like St. Louis, it could do good. It just had to do. They have to advertise it right. It's one of those scenarios like when E3 went to Atlanta one year, and that was like a weird spot to throw it. I was like, This may not work out, guys, but with the right push, they will get a crowd. So
yeah, I looked like I almost wanted to go down to that because I think it's like an 8-hour drive for me to hit St. Louis, But there's another actually convention that I want to go to here in Baltimore during that time frame, so I'm not going to go. But I hope that I hope they get a lot of attendance. I think personally, if they want to do it kind of like in the middle of the country area, I think it probably would have been a better pick to hit
Texas.
like Dallas. Yeah, exactly. I think Dallas would have been a good spot for something like that. If they wanted to do that, or if they wanted to go like maybe on the East Coast but further south, maybe somewhere in like Florida, like Miami or something like that. But I don't know. Who knows? Hopefully, everyone gets out there and goes to that and shows that hey, they can. There's a lot of Sonic fans out there. In Missouri, in St. Louis.
St. Louis, yeah.
Yeah.
This is Louis, damn it.
I've actually seen a couple of Sonic, the Summer of Sonic videos, and like it looks intense out there, man. I was like, wow, like
yeah.
I definitely would love to go to one of those events one day. So.
The problem, here's the problem. I think when you compare America to England, because England has a ton of Sega and Sonic fans. But the thing is like you can hold it in one spot and everyone goes to that one area because it's small, right? In America, you can hold it like in California, and the East Coast people, they can't get there. You know what I mean? So it's hard to show and really represent like how many people love Sonic because it's so the area of North America is so vast that it's hard to get everyone in that one spot. Whereas in England, it's a lot smaller and consolidated that you guys can all fit right there and show your support. So,
True.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think it would be nice to do it on neutral grounds, like Dallas, Texas, because they actually throw a big anime convention out there in Dallas. So like I forgot what it's called, but
I think.
Yeah, Akon. Yeah,
my daughter just went there.
They go there, and it's just like neutral grounds, and I'm like, believe it or not, when you search for certain like tickets, plane tickets, like a flight to the Bay Area is kind of expensive. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So imagine people from like a Georgia or North Carolina trying to fly to San Francisco. I'm like, oh man, the ticket's a little pricey compared to going somewhere like Texas. So that'll be a perfect spot to throw anything like Sonic related.
It would be nice if they could do like a West Coast and Midwest and an East Coast.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
if they had
packs.
the money, they could do 3 different ones. They could do one in San Francisco, they can do one in Dallas, and then they can do one in New York or Florida or something.
Yeah, because one thing people need to remember is that these events, they are actually free. Well, the Summer Sonic one is anyway. I believe Sonic Boom is as well. So it's not like PAX and places they charge for tickets so they can get some money back.
I didn't know it was free.
Oh wow, I didn't know it was free.
Well, definitely the Summer Sonic one is in the UK. I believe Sonic Boom is as well.
I'd pay to get in, but I didn't know it was free.
Yeah, some of Sonic people said,
Don't
we'll
tell
pay
them
you
that,
guys,
Steven.
Yeah.
Well, I was fully. I mean, I'm pretty sure they know people would pay to get into that, but
yeah, but I think they're just doing it for the fans, and so it's kind of understandable if they are spending a lot of money and stuff. And Summer of Sonic especially because it's backed by Sega Europe. A little bit like Sega Europe provide consoles and games for them and like help get like Yuji Naka to come on board and stuff, but like pretty much all the years that it's been running so far, a few handful of people like I'll mention their names: Sven Jocelyn, Kevin Eva. Crap, I've forgotten the other people's names. There's guys from Summer Sonic and stuff, and the Sonic Stadium. The guys on there, they've actually basically paid for it. Pretty much out of their own pocket, and it's just kind of like wow, it's like a few Sonic fans doing something massive for other Sonic fans, so it's like
that's cool.
It's amazing the amount of people you get there as well. It's phenomenal. But so if you're in America or if you're in England, there's going to be a Sonic event coming this August for you that you can go to. You can talk to other people. There's like competitions, there's live music, there's live sort of performances and stuff. More details are going to be announced, but if it's like any other year, it's going to be awesome.
I have a feeling your Sonic event's going to be a lot better than ours.
Probably.
You're going to have like these like really slutty English bitches like running around. I have a feeling that you're going to have that.
All dressed up in like Amy, like the short skirt she has in like Sonic Adventure.
That is always good, actually.
with pink hair. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that at all ever.
The 2 hours, I'm actually surprised at how many girls actually go to these events. There's like at Summer of Sonic, there was just so many girls there. It's
Just girls are going to
ridiculous.
conventions more and more anyway, but
Yeah.
But you just don't really think about. I don't know. When I was growing up as a kid, mentioned to a girl you like Sonic the Hedgehog, and they're like, "What's that?" Or like, "Oh, what?" But
Yep.
now it's like they love it. It's like,
it's pretty awesome.
yeah.
Now Graham goes there and he's like, "Hey, I help run Sega Nerds. So
I have
hey, you know,
toilet paper up
yeah.
in my shelf.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
something else.
I know.
Just
Just give me crap.
Oh, I hate you guys.
So the next community thing, and the last one that we do want to talk about, is a Kickstarter project. It's called Not Enough Rings, and essentially it's a Sonic parody comic that looks pretty cool, actually. And you know what? Apparently, Graham, Nathan is friends with these people. He was telling me earlier about it. It looks really cool. So,
we should probably explain a little bit that effectively it's actually online already. This comic, there's I think you've actually seen the whole comic, haven't you, Chris?
I've seen a few of them, and they're really funny.
Okay, yeah, they're releasing. Basically, it's a parody comic. It's really funny online. It's sort of showing different acts for each level of each game, like Sonic game, basically. And they're releasing like sort of block of cells, like it's every week or a few weeks or something. And they've got them all planned out. They've actually said the end of this year they're going to have the last sort of little strips come out. But what they want to do is actually want to make it into a physical comic as well. So while you can look at it online, they just want to make a little thing. They said they don't really want to do it for money or anything. They just want to have like a little collector's item. And it seems like a really cool Kickstarter, basically. I mean, they're trying to raise it. Sorry, I had to actually close my window, so I have to open it up again because my internet was bugging out. But I think it's $2,500 they're trying to raise. Oh no, sorry, apologies. It's $6,500 they're trying to raise, but they've raised just over $2,000 for it. And essentially, it looks like if you go online to the website, which is notenoughRings.com, I believe. God, again, I had to close that window. Damn it. But yes, effectively,
You're right.
It's
Yes,
really
it's notenoughRings.com.
Excellent, thank you. It's a really, really funny comic book. We'll probably link to it in the show notes and stuff. And it just seems like a really cool idea, especially, like, again, it's another thing that fans are doing that is just awesome. So repeating one of the sales just that's genius. So yeah, go and check it out and donate if you can to their Kickstarter, because this is something we want to support, and they're not trying to make good money of it. They just want to do it for the fans, really. So yeah, I mean, have you guys read it, Mr. Wilson, Steve? Have you seen this?
I've heard about that, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet, actually. So
Okay.
I'm gonna check as soon as I get off. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, definitely do.
Yeah, I think
Definitely.
Nathan Graham said that he could probably be a middleman in getting them onto the show. So maybe next week, who knows? Maybe next week they'll be on. We have so many awesome guests from the Sega community, which is great. So
we love you guys.
yeah. So definitely go to Kickstarter, search Not Enough Rings, and you'll find it. Currently, right now, they have 32 backers for $2,038. So they're almost a third of the way to the goal, but there's some really cool rewards there. I'm a huge Kickstarter fan. I love Kickstarter. I love just being able to help contribute to create these really great projects and stuff like that. I'm really afraid of when July 1st comes around because I'm currently like donating to like 4 or 5 Kickstarters. So I think I'm going to have about like $300 worth of charges just from Kickstarter. The wife is going to be pissed. But I don't know. Like, I absolutely love it. I think it's a great thing, and there's some really cool stuff. So definitely check that out. We'll have a post on the site here very soon, and hopefully we'll have them on. Like I said, we'll have them on here in the next week or so.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
Let me see. I'm trying to go back to the outline. All right.
Yeah.
I guess our question of the week
moment.
right now. Let's go. Our question of the week from last week was, what is your favorite intro to any Sonic game?
Or Sega game?
Sega game is what I meant to say. And we had a couple from Twitter, and Super Psy Guy said Astal on the Sega Saturn. I'm not familiar with that game.
Yeah, I've heard about that. It's like it kind of got like an RPG element to it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a cool game. From what I've seen.
Yeah.
So
I think I did play it on my friend's Saturn years ago, and yeah, I remember actually really enjoying it.
And we had another one from Christopher. He said the intro screen of Vector Man.
Oh, that was awesome.
Which Mr.
was
Wilson
awesome.
was also you threw a shout out to that in your Dear Sega song.
yeah, I did because I was just so pissed at that PS2 game they were trying to make. I was like, what the hell is this? So I'm kind of glad they canned that. So Vector Man 1 was like one of my personal favorite like Sega games, man. Like it was just I don't know, it was just so different, man. You know, so but one of my favorite intros was it was actually a fighting game for the Sega Genesis. It was called Eternal Champions.
Yes.
And like they had like all the characters like do these crazy things to the Sega logo. So like that was like one of my that was one of my favorites. And they got the Earthworm Jim ones too. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Earthworm Jim, yeah. I wanted to say really quick, I'm really excited that Doug Tenopple is now following the Sega Nerds account on Twitter.
Woo!
He is the
Nice.
creator of Earthworm Jim. We had him on the show not too long ago, but
Groovy.
it's always good to have
That's awesome.
awesome Sega developers following us on Twitter. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
What about you, Steve? What's your favorite intro?
I'm gonna go back to like earlier in the show, probably Sonic Adventure, because like it starts off with that music and you see the city and then you see like the water going through and it's like this really dark music and then it just goes boom and you see the Sonic Adventure logo and then it just like kicks into high gear and I'm just like I get chills thinking about it. I get chills watching it. It has to be one of the greatest like intros of any video game I've ever seen. Yeah, like I would put it up there with like my favorite. And then just real quick, and this is just my bias opinion because I love Jurassic Park, but I love the original Jurassic Park ones with the Sega logo and the T-Rex goes
T-Rex.
yeah, he goes Rigo. He says Sega, but it roars it, so it's like Rigo.
Wait,
Like,
move to your right a
alright.
little bit, Steven. No, move the chair to your right a little bit. Okay. I would never have thought he loved Jurassic Park looking at that right there.
I have those, and then I've got toys. Got toys over there in the
Show us the
corner.
tattoo. Show us the tattoo.
That game had the funniest sound effects ever, man.
Look at it.
Like
He also has a tattoo as well, which is pretty awesome.
wow.
This man loves Jurassic Park, which is honestly
Wow,
probably the
that's
coolest
what's
movie ever.
Yeah, I love it. It's
Yeah.
huge in my life. So, yep.
Awesome.
That game was incredible, man. Like even the Raptor levels, you know. It took me a
It
while
was
to
very
actually
very
beat
hard
those.
game.
Yeah.
Graham,
Chris?
what about? Oh shit! You know what? I have had about 6 beers so far. I can't even remember.
The Shadow
right now.
intro is his favorite.
The Shadow the Hedgehog intro is the greatest intro of any Sega game. I don't even remember what it is. I guarantee you it's awesome. It's underrated, but it's also the worst and best Sega intro ever.
Oh, brilliant. I think for me, the best intro is on Shining Force 3 Episode 1 or Scenario 1. Just before you get to the title screen or anything, there's a little intro thing that happens, and it's probably one of the best things I've ever seen. The music's fantastic. I can't. If you haven't seen it, I can't describe it to you. I love it. I'll have to put out a link to YouTube when we post this up onto the website because it's just an awesome. Like when I first put it in, just like let it come up. It has at the start. It's like all silent. You hear, and like the Sega logo comes up, and then like this big Shining Force 3 comes up, and the music kicks in. It's like what
cool.
the yeah. I'll link to it. I love that game. I love that intro. So yeah, man, massive fan of it. So yeah, Chris, are we moving on to the?
Did Mr. Wilson say what his favorite intro was? Did we
Yeah,
miss
it
that?
was Eternal Champions.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yes.
Good pick.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm drunk. Who knows? I haven't even.
Yeah, I'm still drinking the Yingling. Let's keep this party going. okay, now we're going to talk a little bit about what we've been playing. We weren't able to do it last week, but fuck it, we're going to do it this week. So, Mr. Wilson, you're a guest. Okay. So, what have you been playing this week?
Oh man, I've been playing a lot of like retro games on the 3DS, man. Like I do a lot of traveling, or I'm just like always out and about. So I had to download recently like Gargoyle's Quest for the Game Boy. Like I was playing that. I didn't even know anything about that game honestly, because I was a big Goose and Ghost fans, but I never knew they had a spinoff. So I'm like, okay, let me try to download this game. I was like, oh wow, this is great. It has like RPG elements and everything. I just been playing like a lot of retro games lately, man. Like I was playing on an emulator. What was that game? Sunset Riders.
Very awesome game. Holy shit.
I loved the Konami games from back in the day, and like a couple of nights ago, I was playing Bucky O'Hare. So yeah, dude. I just love like those games from back in the day, man. I play mainly the retro ones over.
Sorry, Joe.
I play.
Sorry, go ahead.
I play mainly the retro ones over like what's out now. I actually. This weekend, I'm actually about to reserve the Xbox One. I was kind of iffy about it at first, but then they actually did this thing. It's called listening to their fans, and
yeah, right.
So like people giving Microsoft all this they calling them bitches and everything. I'm like, dude, they listen to the fans. Like if they complain about something, they actually said, oh look, we're gonna take off the 24-hour. Feature and everything. I'm like, thank you, Lord, man. And people's getting mad about the price about it. I'm like, dude, you're getting your money's worth, because the thing is with Sony, they really focused on video games at E3. Microsoft gave you the whole entertainment system aspect.
Package,
the whole package. Like what we doing now, Twitch, you can actually do that on the one. So like I love basketball. I love playing fantasy basketball. So it's gonna be great. So I can watch Brooklyn Nets game and then like say, oh, fancy basketball, and it pops up like, oh, I see how some of my players are doing. It's like that's I like people say, oh, you paying so and so amount for Xbox. I'm like, dude, you're getting your money's worth at the end of the day.
One thing I want to mention real quick about that was when the PS3 originally came out, the ultra awesome one, the 60 gig hard drive, I think it was $600, and people are bitching about the $500 price tag.
It was $599 US.
$599.
It sure was. I totally forgot about that. Yeah,
but I mean, you're getting on the new Xbox, you're getting a 500 gig hard drive. I mean, and you're getting the Kinect, whatever, for $500. But yeah, I don't know. I just think people are getting way too. They just want something to bitch off about. And that's what they're going to be doing is, Microsoft's $100 more.
You got to think about it. PS2s, when people were trying to get them early, they were $500. And in some stores, people used to purchase those things too. Like, $500. Oh, I need it. Let me get it. So now, 11 years later, now everybody's bitching now. So come on.
Yeah.
What were we supposed to be talking about?
Retro gaming.
Oh, okay.
It's what we've been playing this week. So
I just playing a lot of retro stuff. So that's on.
I am really drunk. I tell you what. You know what? I've been playing Sega Nerds Game of the Month, which you bastards probably have not been playing. Is Alex Kidd in Miracle World.
I was playing a little bit of it. I'm actually gonna save everything for when I do my review, which is gonna be like Actually, I should probably just. Nope, not gonna reveal it. Nope.
Very good. Awesome. No, you know what though? Like, I mean, I'll admit that this time playing this game is really the first time I'm like really heavily getting into Alex Kidd in Miracle World, and I am absolutely loving this game. It is a lot of fun. I love the platforming. I love the music in the game. The music is amazing. It's absolutely one of the best soundtracks from back then.
Which version is this?
This is Miracle World.
What I'm saying, what version is this? Is this the Genesis one?
No, I'm playing. I'm going back and forth from the Master System version to the version on PSN, which was released not too long ago. So I'm going back and forth. What I do like about the PSN version though is that they have a save state feature.
Nice.
Because that game will kick your balls.
Dude,
it is hard.
I suck at rock, paper, scissors in real life, so imagine that game.
You know, the problem is because like before you have to beat like the 3, like I forget what they're called, but they're literally 3 mini bosses that have like that are shaped in like a rock, paper, scissor head, right? And it's crazy, but being able to like save like right before then and just being able to like you then go into the rock paper scissor battle with them beforehand. But I always think like that they're going to, I try to predict what they're going to do, and I always assume that, okay, say I'm going against like Scissorhead or whatever his name is, I think that he's going to go scissors first because he's his head is scissors, and I'm always wrong, so I always like lose the very first match on it. But anyway, I really am having a lot of fun with that game. I honestly think it does not get enough credit for what it did back in the day. I know that back then in the 8-bit days, Mario obviously is king platformers, but trying to be completely unbiased, I honestly think Alex Kidd in Miracle World is right up there with Super Mario Brothers. I honestly do. I think from a quality standpoint, it's right there.
But they tried to make him the mascot back in the day before Sonic, right? Wasn't they trying to?
That's my thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
So
trying to find their guy, their mascot.
I wish they really like pushed him or just made more games with him. Like, they could have done something.
You in your Sega rap, you want another Alex Kidd. I
do.
remember that, and because I got really excited when I heard that. I've been saying that for a long time. Why not make an Alex Kidd? I would love an Alex Kidd in Miracle World remake in HD. How about that?
Yeah, in the Sega network. Like I'm happy what they did with the Mickey Mouse game. So I'm like, oh wow, this is great. I hope they do that with the Mickey and Donald game that came out for the Genesis back in the day.
Oh,
that's like one of my favorite.
They're
Genesis
remaking
games ever.
DuckTales. Did you see that?
I saw that.
That's so good.
Yeah,
so
I did.
awesome.
Yes, and so they need to start remaking a couple of those. Hopefully, DuckTales and like the Mickey Mouse game can like, if it sells well. Oh, Chip! Oh, wow. Darkwing Duck too, but
yes.
Yep.
Yeah. If I think all these companies can do HD remakes, it depends how games like DuckTales and Mickey Mouse do. If it sells a lot, I'm like, hey, let's keep doing remake in HD. Certain games from back in the day. I wouldn't mind seeing Alex Kidd though.
I would love to see Alex Kidd.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Sorry, yeah, I've been playing some Alex Kidd, and, like I said before, that's our game of the month. So if anyone wants to start playing this game with us, we're playing it. Start playing it with us. Hop onto the Sega Nerds forums. There's actually an official topic in the Sega forum right there. You can find it, and you can, we're all exchanging, like, tips and tricks and, tactics for how to advance further into the game. And, hop onto that with us. We'd love to hear from everyone else out there playing the game. So, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody else mention their games they're playing?
I've been playing a lot, and I mean a lot, of Pokemon White version 2 on the 3DS. I think yesterday was the first day where I could actually sit down and not do anything at all during the day, before work. So I think I played Pokemon White 2 for like 5 hours straight. I haven't actually sat down and played a game like 5 hours straight in so long, but yeah, I was just I love that game.
A couple of weeks ago, I just dropped a Pokemon EP. So if you want to check that out on my Mr. Wilson site, yeah, it's called Pocket Wilson Red. So yeah. So I'm doing 4 versions. I'm currently working on Blue right now. Then Gold and Silver, like 4 tracks, 4 albums.
That's
so.
Awesome.
I don't understand. Okay, so Nintendo, we all understand and know that Nintendo's struggling with the Wii U.
Yeah.
All they have to do is create a legitimate Pokemon MMO, and it would rule the world.
Yes.
It would dominate the entire world. That's what everyone wants. They would make $1 billion with that. It's a gold mine waiting to happen. Why don't they do that?
I'd go buy a Wii U right now. I'd literally.
If they did, yeah.
To go buy a Wii U if they did that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the Pokemon, what was it, Black and White 2 trailer, and they had an anime trailer out of it. I was like, how come this can't look like the one on Cartoon Network. So I cannot watch that now. I really can't. But
you know what?
But
or if you know what, why wouldn't they create like a Skylanders version of Pokemon, where they would sell like the toys that would then be able to go into like you could like throw like put them in a Pokeball and like throw them on some shit.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it would like. Why am I not running a video game corporation? Because I would fucking like
That was the biggest shock. I'm not gonna lie. I did not know Skylander was gonna like do that crazy. Like people still buy those toys to this very day. So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It is
that
nuts.
kept Spyro alive.
No shit. No one even associates that with Spyro.
They don't. It's crazy.
And Spyro was like a Sony thing at one point in time, which is crazy too.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, like him and Crash. I don't know. They just put them in just throw them. I'm like, we ain't mess with no more. We'll mess with Drake now.
I've been saying for a long time that Sony needs to bring Crash back and start like trolling Microsoft. Man, that would be great.
I hate.
Oh yeah.
Don't you dare! Don't you fucking dare!
Those games are just all you do is run
I like
forwards.
Crash 1
Bloody
and 2.
hell!
Crash 1 was awesome.
Yeah, it was. I can't.
Crash Team Racing is one of my favorite kart racers of all time.
Yeah.
I do agree. A Crash Team Racing was an awesome game. I actually loved that
It
game,
rivaled, in my opinion, Mario Kart 64.
Yep.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I just I did not understand the original Crash or Crash 2 or anything. Where you're just running forward,
now Crash
jumping
Bash,
over things. I was just like, what's going on? And it wasn't Spyro. Spyro was way better. Oh, man. Anyway.
All right, Graham, what have you been playing?
One game I've been playing quite a bit of on my Windows phone is...
Oh, God. Microsoft Office 98?
Screw you. Let's see if you guys can recognise this music. Hold on when it comes on.
Whoa.
Turn it down a bit.
I don't recognize it. Oh, Sonic CD. Okay.
CD.
See, Sonic the music intro that I'm used to Sonic CD is Sonic Boom. So when you did that one, I didn't.
They had two different soundtracks. So like, and the European and the Japanese one is 10 times better. So
my favorite soundtrack on the Sonic CD would be the US version. I love the US version.
Oh, the music wise?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the Stardust, like the Japanese version, or it's just like I don't know. They had like different beats to it. And the other one, I don't know. The US one.
I grew up with it. Like that was my first Sonic game I ever owned. So like it's mostly probably a nostalgia thing for me. But I love that music. I love that soundtrack. The US version. Nothing against the Japanese version. It's my favorite.
It was a great game overall. They still say it's the best Sonic game of all time.
My favorite Sonic game.
See, so
yeah.
All right, you know what? I think we're gonna start wrapping stuff up. However, Mr. Wilson, I want to give you an opportunity to talk to your friends. Graham, shut that shit off.
Yes.
I want to allow you to tell everyone where they can hear more about you and talk to your audience. I know you said earlier that you wanted to have an announcement to everyone. So the floor is yours. Say what you want to say, my friend.
All right. You can follow me on Twitter _ Mr. Wilson, MISTER Wilson. You can check all my music on I have 2 albums that's for free. Mr. Wilson Wood EP, and I have Sonic Free P, and then I just currently released the Pokemon album. It's EP, 4 tracks, $4 for that one. Subscribe to my channel, Mr. Wilson TV on YouTube. Search for Mr. Wilson on Facebook. I'm trying to think of another thing. As far as announcement, I'm currently working on a collab album with one of the nerdcore artists by the name of Random, but they call him Mega Ran. And we're doing a Sonic and Mega Man album. So
very nice.
Yeah, so it's I mean, it's not gonna really have anything to do with the World Collide comic book, but since we heard about that, I'm like, it only makes sense since I've done a
Right
Sonic
on.
album and he's done a Mega Man. He has a whole bunch of Mega Man albums. So whenever you get a chance, if you're a fan of Mega Man, look up Mega Ran and check his music out. So it only makes sense for both of us to do some stuff together. So we're gonna be sampling a couple of Sonic and Mega Man songs. So see how that do. We're gonna drop it middle of the summertime.
That would be awesome.
Definitely middle of summertime. But like here, the Sega Nerd community, if you're a fan of Sonic music, you definitely should check out the Sonic Free P album I did on my Bandcamp. So I should have sent that to you a couple of days ago before we did this because I could have played it. We could have played a couple of songs from there. Yeah,
that would have been good. You know what though? You know what? Like you've been so good on this podcast. Like I
yeah.
feel like you're one of us, man. So like I would love for you to come back on the show like at least like once a month or something like that. You know, like I would love to have you like be like a regular member of the Nerdcast, man.
Oh,
like,
definitely,
I feel
man.
like for sure, man. Like you're one of us. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I'm down for whenever, man. So I love the community. I love the Sega community. I love the Sega nerd site.